In the flickering light of tallow candles, a story begins to unfold. You are back in time, safe and comfortable, merely an observer of a world long past. You are waking, but not yet awake. The darkness of the loft is a soft, woolen blanket around you. You feel the deep, even breath of your Marie beside you, a steady rhythm in the still air. You hear the first sound, not a sound of people, but of place. A single, plaintive coo from the dovecote outside. Then silence again. This is your name. Thomas. Thomas Stone. And this is the slow unraveling of your dawn. You shift, and the straw of your mattress whispers beneath the linen sheet. The weight of the woolen blanket is a gentle pressure, a familiar anchor. You slide your legs from the warmth, and the morning chill touches your skin like a cool, damp cloth. Your feet find the smooth, worn wood of the floor. It is cold, solid, real. You pull on your hose, the coarse wool scratchy against your sleep-softened skin. You buckle your tunic, the leather belt pulling snug around your middle. You take your heavy cloak from the peg, and its weight settles on your shoulders like a solemn duty. You move slowly, ever so slowly, down the ladder from the loft, each rung a quiet creak under your palm. The main room of your house is a cavern of shadows, and one single, sleeping ember in the hearth. You see its faint, orange pulse. You feel its distant, fading warmth from 3 paces away. You cross the room, your footsteps hushed on the packed earth floor. You lift the wooden latch, and the door opens with a sigh. You step into the courtyard of River Bend. The air is a cold, clear drink of water. It fills your lungs, sharp and clean. You see the world painted in shades of gray and blue. The thatch on the cottages is a dark, hulking silhouette against a sky that is just beginning to bleed a pale, milky light along the eastern edge. You hear the endless, hushed conversation of the river, the constant flow just beyond the mill wall. It is a sound that is always here, the breath of the village. You stand and you breathe. You see the puddles from yesterday's rain, their surfaces like dull, leaded glass. You feel a faint mist against your face, so fine it is barely there. The world is holding its breath. You turn to the stable, a low stone building against your own house. The oak door is rough under your hand. You slide the bolt, and the sound is a loud, wooden thunk that seems to echo in the silent yard. Inside, the air is different. It is warmer, thick with the sweet, dusty smell of hay and the comforting, musky scent of animal. You hear a soft snort, a shift of a heavy hoof in the straw. Your old dray horse, Oak, is a dark shape in the stall. You murmur his name. You run your hand along his broad, warm flank. You feel the solid muscle beneath the winter coarse coat. He is warmth and life and quiet strength. You fork hay into his manger, and the sound is a dry, rustling whisper. You fill the leather bucket from the rain barrel, and the water pours with a cold, splashing song. These are your first tasks. Simple, quiet, good. You leave the stable, and now the light has changed. The milky wash has become a soft, pearly gray. You can see the texture of the timber on your mill, the grain of the wood. You walk across the courtyard, the damp earth slightly giving under your boots. You come to the mill door. This is your kingdom, your place of stone and water and grain. You fit the large iron key into the lock. The metal is shockingly cold. You turn it, and the mechanism groans, a deep, satisfying clunk from within. The heavy door swings inward. You step into the dim, cavernous space. It smells of old stone, of cool dampness, of the faint, nutty ghost of last season's flour. It is a smell of patience, of slow, grinding work. You walk to the great millstone. You lay your palm on its cold, gritty surface. It is immovable, eternal. You check the wooden gears, tracing their teeth with your fingers, feeling for splinters, for wear. All is solid. All is ready. From here, You can hear the river more clearly. A deep, powerful hum through the stone of the wheelhouse. It is a force waiting to be channeled. But not yet. For now, it is just a lullaby for the sleeping village. You step back into the courtyard. And now you smell something new. A thread of wood smoke, sharp and resinous, weaving through the damp air. Then another. The rich, yeasty, unmistakable scent of bread. Your Marie is awake. The hearth in your home is coming to life. You see the glow from your own window now, a warm, yellow promise against the cool blue dawn. You know what is inside. The crackle of new fire. The scrape of the dough trough. The soft, murmuring voices of your Lucas and Isabel, still thick with sleep. You take one last look around your yard. The gray light is softening, warming. The world is coming awake, slowly, ever so slowly. But here, in this moment, in your courtyard, between your stable and your mill, with the smell of your wife's bread on the air, you are insulated. You are safe. The day will bring its river current of toil, its grain sack of duties. But this dawn, this first light, is a quiet pocket of peace. You turn towards the glowing window. You walk towards the smell of bread and the sound of your family. The cold air nips at your neck, but ahead is warmth. Always ahead is warmth. And later, when the sun is higher, you will go to the heart of it all. You will go to the tavern. But that is for later. For now, there is only this slow, gentle waking. This first light. This safe, solid ground. You are Thomas, the miller, and you wake to the gentle hum of the village, the first light of dawn reluctantly creeping through the small, leaded window of your stone cottage. The air is cool, a chill that seeps into your bones, but you are warm and safe beneath your wool blanket, the weight of it comforting, familiar. You can hear the soft patter of rain against the thatched roof, a steady rhythm that lulls you into wakefulness. The sound is soothing, a gentle reminder of the world outside, but you are cocooned here, safe and insulated from the damp and cold. You stretch, feeling the warmth of the bed leave your body, replaced by the chill of the morning air. You pull on your woolen tunic, the scratch of the fabric against your skin, a familiar sensation. You can smell the faint scent of smoke from the previous night's fire, a comfort, a sign of life and warmth. You make your way downstairs, the wooden steps creaking softly beneath your feet. The main room of the cottage is filled with the dim light of dawn, the embers of last night's fire still glowing softly in the hearth. You can hear the soft rustling of Marie, your wife, already up and moving about the kitchen, the clink of pots and pans a gentle symphony of morning. You join her, the warmth of the fire beginning to spread through the room, chasing away the chill of the morning. You can smell the faint scent of bread, the yeasty aroma wafting through the air as Marie tends to the dough, kneading it gently, the rhythm of her hands a soothing sight. You take a deep breath, the scent of the bread mixing with the smoke of the fire, a comforting, familiar smell. You can hear the soft patter of rain still falling outside, the sound of the village slowly waking up, the distant clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows in the barn. You make your way to the mill, the path familiar beneath your feet. The rain has made the ground soft, the mud sucking gently at your boots. You can hear the distant sound of the river, the water rushing over the stones, the sound of the wheel turning, the grind of the stones inside the mill. You push open the heavy wooden door, the sound of the mill wheel filling the air. The mill is dark, the only light coming from the small window high above. You can feel the dampness of the air, the chill of the stone walls, but you are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. You can hear the soft whir of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You can feel the vibration of the mill through your feet, the steady rhythm a soothing presence. The smell of the grain is strong, a dusty, earthy scent that fills the air. You can taste the grain in the air, a faint, floury taste that lingers on your tongue. You can feel the flour in the air, a fine dust that settles on your skin, your clothes, a mark of your work. You can hear the soft rustling of the grain as it pours from the sack, the sound of the mill wheel turning, the grind of the stones, the sound of the flour being collected, the soft rustling of the sack as it is filled. You are lost in the rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. You can hear the distant sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. You can hear the soft patter of rain still falling outside, the sound of the river rushing over the stones, the sound of the mill wheel turning, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are lost in the rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. You are lost in the rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. You are lost in the rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. The rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. You are lost in the rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. The warmth of the sun, the sound of the village, the rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. The rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are lost in the rhythm, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. The rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are lost in the rhythm, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. The rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are lost in the rhythm, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. The rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are lost in the rhythm, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. The warmth of the sun, the sound of the village, the rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the sound of the grain being ground into flour. You are warm and safe here, the heat of the mill stone a comforting presence. The sun is rising, the light streaming through the small window, casting a warm glow on the stone floor. The sound of the village waking up, the clucking of chickens, the lowing of cows, the sound of people moving about their morning chores. The rhythm of the mill, the steady hum of the wheel, the grind of the stones, the midday sun, a pale disk peeking through a thin veil of clouds, casts a hesitant warmth onto the packed earth floor of the common room. You feel it, a gentle caress on your cheek as you sit by the hearth. The air inside is thick, a comforting blend of wood smoke, drying herbs, and the faint, sweetish tang of ale that seems to permeate the very timbers of the tavern. It's a familiar scent, a scent of home, even though this is not your home. This is the Salty Siren, Riverbend's only tavern, and your domain. You are Thomas Stone, miller of River Bend. Your hands, roughened by flour and the turning of millstones, rest on your knees. They are strong hands, capable hands. You can feel the slight ache in your knuckles from yesterday's work, a dull throb that is more a memory than a pain. The wool of your tunic, coarse and practical, scratches softly against your skin, a familiar, grounding sensation. It's a good wool, spun by Marie, your wife, with threads sturdy enough to withstand the wear and tear of a miller's life. You can almost hear the rhythmic clack of her loom in your mind, a constant, reassuring sound that weaves itself into the fabric of your days. The fire in the hearth is not a roaring inferno today, but a steady, comforting glow. Embers pulse with a soft, orange light, casting dancing shadows on the rough-hewn stone walls. You lean back, feeling the heat seep into your bones. It's a deep warmth, a penetrating warmth that chases away the lingering chill of the morning. Outside, you can hear the distant bleating of sheep and the occasional sharp bark of a dog, sounds that speak of the wider world, a world of wind and weather. But here, within these thick stone walls, you are insulated. You are safe. The tavern is quiet now. The morning rush of farmers and traders has subsided, leaving behind a stillness punctuated by the occasional creak of the wooden tables or the soft sigh of the wind against the shutters. The smells are more pronounced in this quiet. The lingering aroma of yesterday's stew, rich with root vegetables and a hint of mutton, mingles with the fresher scent of freshly baked bread from the kitchen. You can almost taste it, the crusty, warm loaf, the soft, yielding crumb. Marie always says the secret is in the resting, letting the dough breathe, letting it rise slowly, ever so slowly, under a damp cloth. You watch the motes of dust dance in the shafts of sunlight that pierce the gloom. They swirl and eddy, tiny worlds in motion. Your gaze drifts to the counter, worn smooth by countless elbows and tankards. You can feel the cool, slightly sticky surface beneath your fingertips if you were to reach out and touch it. It's a surface that has seen much, heard much. The hushed conversations, the boisterous laughter, the occasional angry shout. It all washes over the wood, leaving its mark. A fly buzzes lazily near the window. It's drone a small, persistent sound in the quiet. You follow its erratic path with your eyes, a simple, uncomplicated motion. There is no urgency here, no demand. Just the slow passage of time, marked by the shifting patterns of light and shadow. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the gentle scratch of wool, the pervasive, comforting smells, they all conspire to lull you into a state of deep relaxation. You can hear the rhythmic drip of water somewhere in the back, perhaps from the well or a leaky barrel. Drip, drip, drip. Each drop a tiny hammer blow, tapping out a slow, steady rhythm. It's a sound that sinks into your subconscious, a sound that encourages stillness. You close your eyes for a moment, and the darkness behind your eyelids is a soft, velvet curtain. The warmth of the hearth seems to intensify, wrapping around you like a comforting blanket. Lucas, your eldest, would be out in the fields by now, helping with the harvest, his young muscles already strong. Isabel, your daughter, would be with Marie, learning the delicate art of weaving, her small fingers nimble and quick. They are growing so fast, these children of yours. You feel a pang of pride, a deep, quiet satisfaction. They are healthy, they are loved, and they are safe. That is all that matters. The midday sun, though pale, is persistent. It continues its slow journey across the sky, its warmth a constant presence. You can feel the heat on the back of your neck, a gentle pressure. The air is still, heavy with the scent of wood smoke and baking bread. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs with the familiar, comforting aromas. The scratch of your tunic against your skin is a gentle reminder of your own physical presence, grounded and real. You shift slightly in your seat, the rough wood of the bench pressing against your legs. It's a solid, unyielding surface, much like the earth itself. Outside, the wind might be picking up, rustling the leaves in the trees, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant rain. But here, inside the salty siren, the world feels muted, softened. The sounds are distant. The worries of the day seem to recede, like the tide pulling away from the shore. You can feel your eyelids growing heavy, a pleasant, languid sensation. The warmth of the fire, the gentle rhythm of the dripping water, the soft murmur of distant sounds, they all combine to create a powerful sense of peace. You are in a place of quietude, a place of rest. The midday sun, though it shines outside, is a mere suggestion of warmth here, a gentle echo of the deeper, more profound warmth that emanates from the hearth and from the very stillness of the moment. You are safe. You are warm. You are here. You are Thomas, the miller, in the heart of Riverbend Village. The gentle hum of afternoon activity wraps around you like a familiar shawl. The sun, a lazy eye in the sky, blinks through the thick leaves of the trees lining the riverbank. You feel the warmth on your skin, a soft, steady heat that seeps into your bones. You are standing by the mill, the great wheel turning slowly, the water from the river rushing over it, a constant, soothing murmur. The scent of fresh-cut wood and wet stone fills your nostrils. You can taste the cool, clean air, a hint of sweetness from the wildflowers that dot the riverbank. The sound of the wheel is a steady drumbeat, a rhythm that you've known all your life. It's a sound that speaks of safety, of home. You can feel the vibrations of the wheel through the soles of your feet, a gentle hum that resonates within you. You hear the soft rustle of wool as Marie, your wife, walks by. She's carrying a basket of freshly washed clothes, the scent of lavender soap lingering in the air. You can see the steam rising from the clothes, a wispy dance in the afternoon light. The scratch of wool against your skin is a familiar sensation, a reminder of the warmth and comfort of your home. You can hear the faint sound of laughter from the village square. Children playing, their voices high and clear. a melody that weaves through the hum of the mill and the rustle of the trees. You can see the smoke rising from the chimneys of the village, a soft, gray blanket that hovers over the thatched roofs. You can feel the warmth of the fire in the hearth, a steady, comforting heat. The scent of burning wood fills the air, a rich, earthy aroma that mixes with the smell of the bread baking in the oven. You can hear the crackle of the fire, a soft, rhythmic sound that lulls you into a state of calm. You can feel the smooth, cool surface of the millstone under your hand. The grain is rough, a stark contrast to the smoothness of the stone. You can hear the soft crunch of the grain as it's ground into flour, a sound that's as familiar as your own heartbeat. You can hear the soft patter of rain on the thatched roof, a gentle, rhythmic sound that blends with the hum of the mill and the crackle of the fire. The scent of rain fills the air, a fresh, clean aroma that washes over you like a gentle wave. You can feel the warmth of the ale in your belly, a steady, comforting heat that spreads through you. The scent of hops and malt fills the air, a rich, earthy aroma that mixes with the smell of the bread and the burning wood. You can hear the soft murmur of voices from the tavern, a low, steady hum that blends with the sounds of the mill and the rain. You can feel the warmth of the fire on your skin, a steady, comforting heat that seeps into your bones. You can feel the soft, worn wood of the tavern table under your hand. The grain is rough, a stark contrast to the smoothness of the stone. You can hear the soft clink of tankards as they're set down on the table, a sound that's as familiar as your own heartbeat. You can hear the soft rustle of wool as Marie walks by. She's carrying a tray of food, the scent of roasted meat and fresh bread filling the air. You can see the steam rising from the food, a wispy dance in the light of the fire. You can feel the warmth of the food in your belly, a steady, comforting heat that spreads through you. The scent of roasted meat and fresh bread fills the air, a rich, earthy aroma that mixes with the smell of the ale and the burning wood. You can hear the soft murmur of voices from the tavern, a low, steady hum that blends with the sounds of the mill and the rain. You can feel the warmth of the fire on your skin, a steady, comforting heat that seeps into your bones. You can feel the soft, worn wood of the tavern table under your hand. The grain is rough, a stark contrast to the smoothness of the stone. You can hear the soft clink of tankards as they're set down on the table, a sound that's as familiar as your own heartbeat. The gentle hum of afternoon activity wraps around you like a familiar shawl. The sun, a lazy eye in the sky, blinks through the thick leaves of the trees lining the riverbank. You feel the warmth on your skin, a soft, steady heat that seeps into your bones. You are safe, warm, and insulated from the outside world. The sounds of the mill, the fire, the rain, and the voices from the tavern blend together into a soothing symphony. The scents of fresh bread, roasted meat, burning wood, and ale fill the air, a rich, earthy aroma that wraps around you like a comforting blanket. Slowly, ever so slowly, you feel your eyelids growing heavy. The gentle hum of afternoon activity lulls you into a state of calm, of peace. You are safe, warm, and insulated from the outside world. You are home. You are at rest. You are asleep. The air grows heavy. You feel it pressing in, a damp chill seeping through the rough-hewn timbers of your home. Outside, the last slivers of daylight bleed from the sky, painting the clouds in bruised purples and fading oranges. The wind, a constant companion here in Riverbend, begins to whisper through the eaves, a low, mournful sound that promises more rain. You can almost taste the dampness on your tongue, a faint, earthy tang that mingles with the wood smoke already curling from your hearth. Thomas, your husband, stands by the open door of the mill, his broad shoulders silhouetted against the dimming light. The rhythmic thump-thump-thump of the grinding stones has ceased for the day, leaving a quiet hum in its wake. He's wiping his hands on a thick, greasy apron, the coarse fabric scratching softly against his skin. The scent of flour, fine and powdery, clings to him, a familiar and comforting aroma. You see the slight slump in his shoulders, the weariness that settles after a long day of labor. Inside, the cottage is a haven. The hearth fire, already kindled by Marie earlier, crackles and spits, sending dancing shadows across the packed earth floor. You can feel its warmth radiating outwards, a gentle wave pushing back the encroaching chill. The air is thick with the comforting smells of home. The faint, sweet perfume of drying herbs hanging from the rafters, the underlying earthy scent of the soil itself, and now, a new, tantalizing aroma. Marie is at the table, her fingers nimble and sure as she works with dough. You watch her, mesmerized by the soft, yielding texture of the flour and water as she kneads it. The rhythmic push and pull of her hands, the way the dough springs back, then gives way again, is a soothing ballet. The flour dusts her forearms, a pale contrast to her tanned skin. The sound is a soft shush-shush as she works, a gentle friction that is almost inaudible, yet deeply present. She hums a low, tuneless melody, a sound that blends seamlessly with the crackling fire. Lucas, your eldest, is by the hearth, his face illuminated by the flickering flames. He's mending a fishing net, his brow furrowed in concentration. The coarse twine is rough against his young fingers, but he works with a quiet diligence. You hear the soft snip of his knife as he trims a stray thread, the quiet rustle of the net as he shifts it. He's lost in his task, a small island of focus in the growing twilight. Isabel, your youngest, is curled on a rough-spun rug near the fire, a worn wooden doll clutched in her arms. Her breathing is soft, and even, the gentle rise and fall of her chest a peaceful rhythm. The firelight catches the golden highlights in her hair, making it seem to glow. She murmurs softly in her sleep, a jumble of dreams no doubt playing out behind her closed eyelids. You feel a surge of protective warmth, a deep, abiding love that settles over you like a soft blanket. Thomas finally enters, shaking the last of the milled dust from his clothes. He pauses in the doorway, his gaze sweeping over the scene. The warmth of the hearth washes over him, a welcome embrace. He exhales slowly, the tension in his shoulders easing. He sees Marie, her hands dusted with flour, her face serene as she works. He sees the children, safe and warm. A small, almost imperceptible smile touches his lips. He walks towards the fire, his heavy boots making a soft thud on the packed earth. He holds out his hands, palms facing the flames, and you feel the heat soak into his skin, chasing away the lingering chill of the day. The rough texture of his calloused hands is a testament to his labor, but now, bathed in the firelight, they seem to soften. He watches the flames dance, the orange and red hues swirling and shifting, casting long, undulating shadows on the walls. The smell of wood smoke, sharp and invigorating, fills his nostrils. Marie looks up, her eyes meeting his. There's a silent understanding between them, a shared peace that needs no words. She wipes her hands on her apron and begins to shape the dough into loaves, her movements fluid and practiced. The soft thump of the dough hitting the wooden board is a steady, grounding sound. "Almost ready," she says, her voice a low murmur, as soft as the wool blankets piled in the corner. Thomas nods, his gaze returning to the fire. He can hear the wind outside, a little louder now, a more insistent murmur. But it's a distant sound, separated from you by the thick walls and the protective glow of the hearth. Outside implies the wild, the untamed, the cold. Inside implies safety, warmth, and the quiet rhythm of life. He watches Lucas, who looks up from his mending and offers a shy smile. Thomas returns it, a silent acknowledgement of their shared space, their shared lives. The scratching of the twine, the soft thump of the dough, the crackling fire, the gentle breathing of Isabel, these are the sounds of your world, a world insulated from the growing darkness. The smell of baking bread begins to fill the cottage, a rich, yeasty aroma that promises sustenance and comfort. It's a smell that speaks of home, of family, of the simple, profound joys of being together. Thomas closes his eyes for a moment, savoring the warmth, the smells, the sounds. The weight of the day begins to lift, replaced by a profound sense of contentment. He opens his eyes and watches Marie slide the loaves into the makeshift oven near the hearth. The heat intensifies, the aroma deepening. The shadows lengthen, but they are gentle shadows, soft and welcoming. The firelight flickers, a warm pulse in the gathering gloom. You feel the warmth on your skin, a comforting, all-encompassing sensation. The sounds of the cottage, the fire, the wind outside, the gentle movements of your family weave together into a lullaby. Slowly, ever so slowly, the darkness outside is complete. The stars, if they are visible through the clouds, are distant and cold. But here, within these walls, there is only light and warmth. You feel a profound sense of peace, a quiet joy that settles deep within your bones. The world outside can rage, but here, you are safe. Warm and safe. The scent of baking bread is a promise of good things to come, a tangible comfort in the deepening night. You hear the gentle pop of the fire, the soft sigh of the wind, the rhythmic breathing of your sleeping child. All is well. All is warm. All is safe. You are Thomas, the miller of River Bend. The day's work is done, the grindstone silent, the mill wheel still. You are home now, in the warm, dimly lit family cottage. The fire crackles softly in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the rough-hewn walls. The scent of burning wood, warm and comforting, fills the air, mingling with the faint, lingering aroma of freshly baked bread. You sit at the heavy wooden table, the surface worn smooth by years of use. The grain of the wood is familiar beneath your calloused hands, a reminder of the rhythm of life, of the turning of the seasons. You feel the coolness of the wood against your skin, a stark contrast to the warmth of the fire that dances in the hearth. Outside, the night is deep and cold. You hear the soft patter of rain against the thatched roof, the wind whispering through the cracks in the walls. But inside, you are safe, warm, and dry. The sound of the rain is a lullaby, a gentle reminder of the world outside, a world that can wait until morning. You feel the weight of the day lifting from your shoulders. The muscles in your back, tense from hours of turning the millstone, begin to relax. You can feel the warmth of the fire seeping into your bones, chasing away the chill of the night. You hear the soft, steady breathing of your family. Marie, your wife, is by the fire, her hands busy with her weaving. The rhythmic clack of the loom is a soothing soundtrack to the evening. Your children, Lucas and Isabel, are nearby, their young faces flushed with the warmth of the fire, their eyes heavy with sleep. You feel the scratch of your woolen tunic against your skin, a familiar sensation, a reminder of the simplicity of your life. The wool is coarse, but it is warm, and it protects you from the cold night outside. You can feel the weight of the cloak around your shoulders, a comforting presence, a shield against the world. You hear the soft pop and crackle of the fire, the hiss of a log as it settles deeper into the embers. The flames dance and flicker, casting a warm glow on the faces of your family. You can feel the heat on your skin, a gentle caress, a promise of safety and warmth. You feel the tiredness in your bones, the heaviness in your eyelids. The day's work is done, and you are ready for sleep. You can feel the softness of the straw-filled mattress beneath you, the warmth of the blankets as you pull them up to your chin. You hear the soft snores of your family, the steady rhythm of their breathing. You can feel the rise and fall of your chest, the slow, steady beat of your heart. You are safe, warm, and dry. The world outside can wait until morning. You feel the warmth of the fire on your skin, the softness of the blankets around you. You hear the soft patter of the rain, the whisper of the wind. You are here, in this moment, safe and warm. And as you drift off to sleep, you know that tomorrow will bring another day of work, another day of turning the millstone. But for now, you are here, in this moment, safe and warm. And that is enough. Slowly, ever so slowly, you feel your eyelids growing heavier. The sound of the fire, the softness of the blankets, the warmth of the room, all combine to lull you into a deep, peaceful sleep. The world outside can wait until morning. For now, you are here, safe and warm, drifting off to sleep. And as you slip into the depths of slumber, you are aware of nothing but the warmth, the safety, the comfort of this moment. The world outside can wait. For now, you are here, safe and warm, drifting off to sleep. Good night, Thomas. Sleep well,